Morning, James.
Morning.
You good to get started with us here?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, good morning, everyone. We'll call the meeting to order. This is a special board meeting, so the agenda will have to stay as is. We'll call this meeting to order at 8:30 a.m. We have 4 members present. And James, you're on the phone?
I'm on the phone, yeah.
Okay, good to hear you. Okay, so we'll start. The first thing is the superintendent's evaluation. You all should have a copy in front of you. Mr. Loft and I went over this on Monday, I guess. And so if you take a look at this, we'll walk through this and talk about it. First of all, the first one is goal setting. You averaged a 5.8 out of 8, which would be satisfactory. And so it says Mr. Loft hasn't had the chance to do long-term planning this year. We'll focus more on this next year. And did a good job year one getting to the needs and feel of the Harvey district. This will enable them to make long-term goals concerning the school district plan for the future of education goals. And I think that's one thing that I could just stop and say that they need to come in on just getting in to know our district, coming in, calming everything down, getting to know the people, getting to know the faculty, getting to know the students. So I think that's good. And now we'll get to roll here too. Okay, so board relations, he averaged 37 out of 44, which is satisfactory. Turn to page 2, weekly updates. I think that's another thing he needs to be commended on. I think we're pretty much aware of everything that's happening. Outstanding job of keeping the board informed, and he does a good job of focusing on learning his job. Okay, we eventually will need to get back to holding committee meetings so we can move forward. This is kind of what I just said in the first part, that we need to get into some key issues. Okay? All right, next area, human resource management. And again, this is the one where, it's hard to do 3-4 sometimes if you haven't really got to see everything he's done, or he hasn't had an opportunity to do some of those things. So, it's not a top to make regarding negotiations, policies, and procedures. He does an outstanding job of utilizing his principal background decision-making process, as well as using his principles, and he has handled some unfortunate situations well this year. Okay? And so, no questions there. We'll go to curriculum and student services. He averaged 26.2 out of 36, which is satisfactory. Some of these areas are hard access, and Aaron's first year as a member were in place when he started. I look forward to seeing and hearing more of these areas in his second year. Mr. Loft was working at many of these measures, but will be more measurable in year 2. Remember, the new curriculum is to be approved by the board through class for 8th grade. Okay? And so, those are things that we will take into account. Community relationship, I think we all would realize, I think he does an outstanding job there. 16 out of 20 was a score, which is satisfactory. It's very visible and very accessible to the public. And that's pretty commended. Okay? Operation and resource management. Okay, and he scored at 39.4 out of 52, satisfactory. As the superintendent, overall a good job communicating. Most areas have room for improvement, and they come with time and experience. And again, this is kind of a good way to sum it all up. In year 1, he's done a good job understanding budget requirements and needs. Year 2, his goals needs to study all of these components will strengthen our school, as well as the need to establish long-range plans for our building. Overall, Mr. Loft is to be commended on a solid first year in Harvey Public Schools. Okay, with that, are there any comments, questions?
Move to accept.
Okay.
Or
Vanessa moved to accept the report. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, probably second by what? Discussion? Okay. All those in favor of accepting the March annual report from Mr. Aaron Loft, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimously carries. Okay, and again, thank you, Aaron. We look forward to year 2. Okay, and so with that, and I forgot about a school board retreat until we kind of talked about that. Of course, Aaron was like, "Oh yeah, I did." So we need to do that. Do you have any specific ideas? I come up with one idea that I talked to Clint with, but go ahead and do that.
No, I like the notion of, getting out and touring both buildings and utilizing the principals to, so you guys can get a better understanding what they have going on in the buildings and, getting a tour of each facility and talking about some of the facility needs and that kind of thing. And then, starting to set up some long range planning for facilities, curriculum, staffing, that kind of stuff too, so.
Okay, so, Bradley and I, we're at this workshop in last fall, and the one guy from the block said, yeah, we toured both of our buildings and we stopped on big plants. I'm like, God, that's not a bad idea.
Well, actually, policy, so
It
we're
is,
supposed to do it, yeah.
Okay, so let's set that up, let's set that up. Okay, did we do that? I didn't realize it was.
Yeah.
So we should have been doing that before.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's set that up, and then, we can do it early enough, we can go to the grade school first, and Mr. Harvey needs to go home or whatever, but, and then, of course, Mr. Hall would have to be part of that, so.
We usually have the principals kind of stay, because then.
Yeah, I think they should stay too, because then they can discuss what their feelings are.
Because then we also talk about, it'd be nice to talk about, like, are you needing a curriculum, like, in 1 year, 3, 4 years?
So that's the plan then? Okay, so now, here comes the hard part. Let's set it up.
Sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I understand that.
that.
He could be in the field in April, huh?
No, but
Yeah, you'll
just
be doing
gets
the
increasing.
farming business in April.
Well, as of right now, the 23rd, they still have the winter sports banquet scheduled for the evening of the 23rd. The rest of that week should be open for me. Obviously, I'm at your guys' disposal for that.
We went to Friday, so you're looking at
24,
24, 25, 26, okay, so Vanessa,
I'm pretty sure those would all be open for me.
that will all be open for you? Is there a preferable day? Want to stay away from Wednesday?
I suppose they
Did you?
I have an appointment in Bismarck in the afternoon. I would, on the 25th, which is Wednesday, but I would get back by 5:30 or 6, I mean, at the latest. So,
Yeah, Friday I'll be,
No, we're going to Friday. It's either 24, 25, or 26. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I'm free on all those days.
I'm free on all that, I believe.
Bradley?
It should be okay. I'm subbing for Mike. Mike's gone for a couple of weeks on the bus route. So 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'll be able.
We wouldn't start until,
This would be an
5-ish.
evening thing.
It's an evening thing.
Okay.
So 5, we would start till 5-ish, 5:30 even.
I'll be back in by then.
So what do you,
I should be back by then. I mean, if you guys want to do it on a Wednesday.
what do you think? You kind of have church things, so would you rather do it on Tuesday or Thursday?
I mean, I don't have any church requirements. Either is okay. But, I mean, Tuesday would be all right, but whatever works.
I'm okay on 24th.
And that way, then we don't have to worry about Chad, hustling back.
Yeah.
Chad has something else he needs to do, or
Yeah, free on
You never know with weather.
you never know what the
Yeah.
weather.
that. And like you said, just
Rush
so we
it
get it done,
And if you're like me, when I have an appointment, there's always stops that I gotta make, so.
Yeah.
So we'll go to 24th, and then we'll do that at, we'll say 5:30, okay? And then you will talk to Kelly and,
Yep.
Mr. Haas and Mr. Every today, make sure that they have that clear.
Yep.
If there's a problem there, they can get back to us and we'll change that.
Certainly.
And so, 5:30, and it'll probably be like by the time you do both schools and, sit down and talk, you're good 2 hours. So what are we gonna do about eating?
Well, we usually order something. I'll
Order pizzas or subs from someone, or,
subs or something.
We'll talk
I'll
about that?
take care of that.
okay, all right?
Yeah.
Okay,
And then the principals will come with like a rundown of staffing and
Curriculum
and then we can
units.
talk about plans for the year, plans for our buildings, and I think that's, I'm glad we're getting rich policy, I didn't realize that. I thought it was a great idea, I thought it was a great idea. I'm so proud of myself.
You just took that away from me.
That's okay, it's okay. All right, so we're meeting 5:30 on the 24th, okay? And then, regular meeting on the 18th. We have went through the agenda, we gotta talk about a little bit more about that, but that'll hopefully get out here.
Yeah.
By Friday,
Yeah, oh yeah,
okay? And so, it's not a very long agenda, but,
it is. But part of it'll be presumably executive session for negotiation.
yes, we need to start talking about negotiations, so that'll add some time. What that needs to, so we can get the ball rolling on that. And we'll have the executive session at the
I
end.
asked Aaron to make sure he brings his
It's
computer.
on there, yeah.
Here, and there's a couple other things about it too, so. After we can Kelly's report, make sure that his.
Yeah.
Make sure that,
Made a couple adjustments too.
because we can't make a motion, cannot make a motion during a report, according to, so it has to be on the agenda.
Yeah,
So
and
if
I-
we're gonna change curriculum, it needs to be on
Yeah.
the business.
Well, it's not necessarily the changing of curriculum as it is the addition of course.
Well, it still has to be approved.
Yes, 100%.
So, and then it needs to be on the agenda
It is.
for it to be legit, otherwise you can't.
Yeah, I think he,
Okay, all right, then we can go
Is
over that one
he
more.
gonna supply us with information on that, or?
I will confirm.
Okay, any other questions on that? Okay, who is going to talk about, Chad, you want to talk about the account access for, I think with, Theresa, you want to talk about that?
Teresa has no, I guess, information or to access anything at Dakota Heritage Bank. Is it Dakota Heritage Bank?
when they made the motion, I went back and found it in January of '25, we just said that, because she doesn't sign checks, but to get account access where she can call and get, if she needs copies, if we have a check that goes back, or interest, or whatever it is. And we just said assistant business manager. And two of the banks are okay, but one of them wants a specific name, so they haven't been, I didn't know it until recently, she said, I'm not getting any information, because they don't have a name, they want a specific name.
So I'm
So,
hearing that.
we would just make the motion
You
again,
need
but
approval
use,
for her to have specific names at Dakota Heritage Bank.
well, and we could just say all of it, because what she'll do, she said, is just give a new copy to all three then, so it has her name on it. So, let's see, we said that, okay, I will make a motion to allow Theresa Grover, which is the assistant business manager, to have access to district financial accounts.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, moved by Colette, second by Vanessa, to allow Theresa Grover to have access to all financial accounts. Discussion? Discussion? Discussion. All those in favor, please say aye. Okay. I have resignation, I guess I can read it. You want to read, Chad, or you want me to? You can.
So Harvey Public School Board, I'm writing this letter, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to be given a bus route in 2020, followed by being hired as athletic director and transportation director. I've enjoyed this journey very much, but at this time I feel the need to step down. I'll be retiring at the end of the 2025-26 school year. I will work with anyone in any of these three positions that I've held to help them with any questions. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to do this job. Sincerely, Mike Tom.
Okay, is there a motion to accept his resignation with a sincere appreciation for all the work he's done?
I make a motion that we accept his resignation with appreciation for what he's done for our students.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Bradley, moved by Colette, second by Bradley, that we accept Mike Cron's resignation with gratitude for all his service. All in favor, please say aye.
Yeah.
All opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, now Aaron, let me ask you, what is your thoughts on how we're going to replace this?
Well, we could look at,
It's the board's job, but I mean, still,
Yes.
what is your feelings?
we could look at advertising for somebody to do a similar job, a combination of activities director and transportation director. If would be one way to do it. I mean, when you look at the two salaries put together, it's a decent wage, or we could look at splitting it up and seeing if there's anybody I mean, in my opinion, I offer it to people in-house first, because I just think that's best practice. But, you know, I would like to start by advertising it as a joint, you know.
Yeah, I think to ask someone to do all three is probably,
Well, I think bus driver is gonna be kind of hard.
That's gonna be the hard
But
part.
I mean, I think that, if we
But,
can tie the other two together, I think that'd be okay.
you seem to go about, I mean, the AD is pretty much doing all the transportation, all the activities, so why not for bus routes?
That's a pretty logical combination, for sure.
Do we have a description of those two? Do we have a description that?
Let's see if I can find anything.
I don't know if we have a description of the transportation. Well,
Yeah, I
that's
don't
a big
know either.
one, though.
That's
Didn't
my
we-
question.
I don't know if we,
When we
we
have this
specifically made one, or yeah, or if we just
I
kind
thought
of.
we made something for him also.
I think we did,
I know we did.
yeah.
And I think it was so that we, you know, that we realized that he wasn't gonna fix buses, but he was going to be responsible for making sure they were maintained.
Right, because we had that discussion about who's responsible for oil change, you know, or
Yeah.
who's cleaning the buses, or
Yeah,
who's.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel,
Anyway, you guys can look for that,
Well, we'll go back to the minutes.
go back and look, and so, I guess I would like a motion to, that we open this position, I think we need to start, so.
We should.
And I think, why don't we just, can we just do what Aaron's recommending, move to open the position for activity director slash transportation?
I think we have to on this one, just because we hired the
Yeah.
AD.
right.
Otherwise, classified people, we don't.
I mean, we can without it specifically on the agenda, it goes under.
I think it goes under, doesn't it usually go under
Does it?
staff resignation? I've always had it before that way, we've always went ahead and done that. I don't think we're getting too much trouble for that.
And
I think that was the reason I wanted it brought up today, so I could start this ASAP.
So can we put in the, advertisement that it's like flexible, open to, you know, so that if somebody wants to just do one.
I'll let Aaron work it out, but I have the same feeling. Somebody may just wanna be, receive buses, somebody just may wanna, do that, yeah, so. Okay,
Oh, I see, yeah, too, because maybe somebody on staff might want to do that, but maybe not BAD, because it's more work or something or other.
So I move we open the position
with flexibility,
with flexibility.
that way then we can do that. Okay, the motion by Vanessa is to open the position of, athletic director, business, or transportation director with flexibility. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Glenn seconds it. Okay, probably moving seconded that we open up the position, athletic director, transportation director with flexibility. Discussion? Discussion? Discussion, we get her, go ahead.
Like a mechanic. Have we considered that role ever since Brian? I'm just throwing options out there.
And that's a great question, and that was a big discussion we had when Brian resigned.
Okay.
And one of the big things that came up there was it's so hard to find someone that is qualified to do all the things now, but
Well, and for the money that we're able
Yeah.
to say
to pay
it.
them.
Yeah.
you know,
It is nice that he does.
But I think you're going to realize what Brian did when he
Yeah.
walks away, because he did a little,
He still does a lot.
things that people don't realize he did. He's gonna cost you
And all those
money.
small things now are sure nice to not have to take them out, to, you know, have them take care of it, so.
Okay,
That doesn't mean it's not.
no, it doesn't mean it's not an option, again, flexibility to come up here. Yeah, and if someone asks about that, we can explore that option.
Yeah.
That's why I went
You
to
never know.
flexibility.
But I just like having the activity director and the transportation director as the same person. I feel it's worked really well. You know,
I agree.
you know, just being a sub bus driver, having one guy to communicate with on routes and activities. It's
I
great.
suppose instead of two people, that makes sense.
And as long as we're on discussion with other things, legal apps, we have not had any problems with our contract with the people to fix our buses, right? It's worked pretty smoothly, hasn't it?
nothing negative.
And it can't be too terribly expensive, because I don't know, so.
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they have said there are things that they just don't want to try and do. It's, you know, at least they're honest and said, if you want to send that to Harlow instead of.
Yeah, that's understandable, that's understandable.
And that's good, I'd sooner they do that if they're not comfortable, I mean, so that's great.
On another note, I don't think I've ever gotten a bill for
Oh, well, maybe that's what it's.
Maybe we're gonna get
And
that
then we start at the end of the year, I don't
I
know.
don't know, I just thought,
I haven't seen one, to be honest with you.
yeah, the only thing that we ever had from snow removal.
Might wanna check with Mike and see
Yeah.
if there's been, some out there, and then if.
Mike gets back,
We could check with them and
Have
say,
him check.
we'd rather not wait till the end of the year to get one big bill, If they are doing.
And I can
things.
check with Christie too.
Right, yeah.
That's fine. Okay, any more discussion? Any more discussion? Any more discussion? So the motion says, Chad, correct me if I'm wrong, we are opening the position of athletic director and transportation director with flexibility immediately. All in favor of that, please say aye. All opposed? The motion passes.
Do we have to talk about money? That's kind of impossible.
We could talk about that when we go into executive session, because that's how, the regular meeting is, since we're talking about negotiations and.
I mean, that's gonna be based on much of
Yeah.
that.
And when people, if he gets calls before that, he can just simply say, it'll be negotiated.
Yeah.
Because we have we have a meeting next week, Wednesday.
Yeah, but nothing much is gonna happen before next Wednesday, so. We can do this under, executive session, correct? Okay. That's your, another question, Vanessa? Very good. I can't add anything to the agenda, so unless you have a question for Aaron concerning the meeting on Wednesday, that would be legit, otherwise we need to have a motion to adjourn.
Special one, we don't have.
We don't have to one now, no, we don't.
Do you want one? Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We don't have to on a special meeting. Okay, second?
Second.
Okay. Five room second, we adjourn the special meeting at 8:22?
8:50.
8:52,
8:50.
10 minutes behind. All the, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, James.